Yo, what up, you guys? So, one of the questions that I get asked a lot is this: Josh, how to know if you're visualizing the right way? Or how do you know if you're assuming the feeling, as Neville Goddard liked to put it, in order to manifest your desires? And well, today I'm going to explain to you guys on how to do it, where you can know for sure that you're doing it correctly. You know what I'm saying? So if you've been visualizing like crazy, wondering why the heck it's not getting you anywhere, then yo, this will definitely clear things up. Alright? Let's do this. In his lecture called The Secret of the Sperm, Neville talks about a certain technique that he learned from his good old friend Abdullah that went like this. Neville would sit physically in one place and assume that he's physically seated in another place. And he'd go from place to place. And many of you have already seen my tutorials on that and tried it. But if you haven't yet, be sure to check it out because people who've done it were seriously blown away by their experiences. Anyway, Neville mentions that over time, the more you keep doing these exercises where you imagine and assume that you're in another place, just like with any practice, it gets easier and easier. But there's a certain element, if you will, a reaction with these kinds of experiences that'll guarantee you that you're doing it right, that many people who teach visualization surprisingly fail to mention. And the element is this. Ready? Shock. Shock. What do I mean? Neville says that when you get good at this skill of imagining, of assuming, you can try opening your eyes at the place where you're not at physically. Let me say that again. You can try opening your eyes at the place where you're not at physically. And when you do that, you'll open your eyes with a shock. Here's an example Neville gives. Let's say he's seated in a big chair in his living room and imagines that he's seated in his bedroom. Then when he wants to shop, what does he do? He opens his eyes while imagining he's seated in the bedroom. Is this making sense? Because if he opens his eyes while imagining he's seated in the living room where his physical body is actually at, there's no shock, right? But again, when he opens his eyes where his body is not, there's a shock. Why? Because it seems so real to him. Remember, consciousness is a one and only reality. There are infinite states, and we live and move in different states. So whenever you become completely absorbed in an emotional state, you are at that moment assuming the feeling of the state fulfilled. You've activated the state where it becomes alive. And that's why the imagined state is so real that when you come back to the objective world and realize it's not the same as the imagined state, it freaking shocks you. It screws up your sense of time. Because you've seen something in imagination with such vividness where you might question whether it was some sort of vision or a waking dream. Because the experience feels that real, you guys. So when people tell me that when they followed my tutorials, my guided exercises, and say they felt like they were actually there, newsflash folks, let this rock your paradigm. You were there, straight up. Don't forget, you're all imagination. All imagination. And since you're all imagination, listen, then you must be where you are in imagination. Boom. Alright, real talk now. What's your desire today? Okay? Is there something in particular that you want? Or is there a place you want to travel to? Or maybe there's a friend you want to help. Whatever your desire is, here's what I want you to do. Enter that state and occupy it. Make there, here, then, now. Imagine your desire already being realized. Imagine already having that thing that you want. Imagine already being at that place where you want to be. Imagine that desire for your friend already being fulfilled. Imagine those things as though they were true. Feel its reality. And when you feel like you're there, go for it. Open your eyes and see what happens. And then just watch. Neville says that these periods of absorption, of concentrated attention, are the beginnings of the things you harvest. And if persisted in, it'll in effect move you across the bridge of incident to the physical realization of your imagined state. Because you get what you believe. Yeah. Alrighty guys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and the bell right next to it to be notified of my next video. I pump these out every single week so you don't want to miss them. If you're listening via podcast, I'd really appreciate a review. It gets more people to discover my work and of course help spread this message. And yo, don't forget to register for my free online training that'll seriously help you to start manifesting the life you really want right now. So check it out. The link's in the description. Like I always say, more's coming. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.